What was the most shocking thing you learned about your family's past? I was scrolling through r/Ask Reddit, and I saw a post that caught my eye. It asked for a story about a young woman who found an old family journal and discovered her ancestors' involvement in the abolitionist movement. I was intrigued by their bravery in helping slaves escape via the Underground Railroad, so I decided to look into my own family's past. My great-great-grandmother was a slave owned by an elderly man who had no children of his own. Surprisingly, he treated her like family and even let her go out alone sometimes, which was pretty risky considering how paranoid some slave owners were about their property running away or being stolen. One day while she was out on one of these excursions, she met another plantation owner who fell head over heels for her at first sight. He wanted to buy her freedom as soon as he could, but unfortunately before he could do that, the old man passed away without leaving any money behind for anyone, including my great-great-grandmother's admirer, so they never got to be together. My great-great-grandmother eventually got emancipated and married a white man named John Smith, who wasn't related to me. They had 2 daughters, Elizabeth, my grandmother, and Mary Jane, my mother. Despite all the hardships they faced during the Great Depression, they made sure their kids were taken care of so they could get an education. Years later, when I was rummaging through my grandmother Elizabeth's closet looking for something better to wear than what I had on at the time, I stumbled upon this wooden box that piqued my curiosity. After digging through piles of clothes trying to find it, I finally opened it up expecting jewelry or photos from way back when, but instead there was this ancient leather-bound book inside that seemed like it wanted me to explore its secrets. This book held pieces of my family history that hadn't been seen in years, stories full of joy and sadness and fear all wrapped up together, just waiting for someone like me to come along and uncover them again. Reading this book took me back in time. It reminded me how resilient our ancestors were despite all their struggles, how much hope they had even when things looked bleakest, how much love they shared with each other, how passionate they were about social justice advocacy. All these things helped pave the way for us today so we can live our lives freely without fear or oppression from anyone else.